Hi, Fems. Happy Wednesday. I'm Violette de Ayala. I'm the founder of FemCity, and you're joining me today for our Wednesday series. We are here every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, sharing wisdom, motivation with my favorite Fems. Today, the topic is all about how to believe in yourself. It's interesting because this morning or this afternoon in our virtual networking, that conversation came up, self-worth, believing in yourself, being able to move forward. And so we recognize that as we're coming out of all that yuckiness from 2020 into 2021, that's been beautiful in so many ways. We recognize that at the end of the day, we have a hard time to believe in ourselves, and that might be limiting us and the greatness that we can share with the world. So I've asked 3 of our beautiful FemCity Global members to join us today. I think these women are going to share incredible wisdom. If you're joining us live, please join the conversation. We're here for you. We've all agreed in the green room that our intention is to help you move forward. So please, please, please feel free to add questions, comments, aha moments. If you're watching this months from now and you're like, oh, I can't believe I missed this, don't worry. You can reach out to any of us. We're here for you. So please feel free to reach out to any of our panelists at any time if you need more assistance, not only on this topic, but anything else that we can do to serve you. So let's get started. I'm going to have the panelists share a little bit about themselves. Carol Ward, you're up. Share a little bit about yourself when it comes to, actually just share like who you are and then we'll get started. Who are you, Carol?
Thank you. Thank you, Violet. I am Carol Ward. I'm a money mindset coach. And so I help my clients by helping them to manage their finances and their beliefs about money so that they can do 3 things, at least: increase their sales, reduce any missed opportunities, and become more confident.
Love it. And let's go to Janet S.
Hi, I'm Janet, and I am a soulpreneur coach, energy alchemist, and author. And I help spiritual entrepreneurs find their inner magic and trust their inner knowing so that they can shine and be successful and abundant in the world, and really discover who they are, what they are meant to do in the world, and why they are doing that.
Love it. Thank you so much, Janet. And we have another beautiful Janet joining us. Janet, share a little bit about yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Janet Tingwald, and I am a life and love coach, and I work with women to tap into their authentic self, really own their worth, to love their life and then find the love of their life. Or maybe they're already in a relationship and rekindle that passion, and to really how to just really show up authentic, powerfully, and from their feminine essence, which brings out the fabulous, healthy masculine.
Love it.
So more love in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all nodding for that. All right. So we are limited in time today because I was going to say this is a huge topic. So if you need us to do a part 2, we're happy to do that. But my first question for the panelists is, what was your own journey in believing in yourself? And the reason why I think we're kind of like limited to what we can share is the truth is, like, I think about my own journey in believing myself, and it was an evolution. It wasn't just like one moment. It seemed like I'd get better and better, and then I kind of drop back a little bit, and then I'd get better and better, and then drop back a little bit too. So what has been your journey in learning to believe in yourself as well? And again, I know we're limited in time because it could literally each of us sharing 30 minutes of like, oh my gosh, and then this happened. But my intention in asking that question is that there are femmes that are watching right now that are really struggling to believe in themselves. They're hard on themselves. They're calling themselves, kind of not so nice and loving words. And so that's my intention. I want them to see that we are all in this journey and we've all kind of gone through this. We were not born like, ta-da, like, we're like super believe in ourselves and, kind of just success from the get-go. It's been a journey. So Carol, share a little bit about your journey when it comes to your own belief in yourself.
Great. Thanks, Violet. Well, a few weeks ago, I was on the panel with goals, how to stay connected with your goals. And one of the things that I mentioned was checking in with yourself daily to see how you're feeling, checking in with your goals to see how you're doing. So there's 2 things I'm going to talk about today. And the first one is journaling. Journaling can go 2 ways. Like the first, in the morning, I wake up and I write about 3 things that I'm grateful for. And just writing about my gratitude, it increased my level of happiness. I feel much happier after. I feel healthier because I'm in a good mood. And what it does also, it increases my openness to receive opportunities, right? Because if I'm a grump, I'm not ready to, receive any opportunities. And the second thing I do with journaling is that I write down how I feel. I write down my thoughts. I write down my actions. And what that has helped me to see is a pattern that's emergent. And we always say awareness is everything. Well, how do you get this awareness? Writing it down, it will show you if you got a fixed mindset on some items or if you have a growth mindset on some items. And I do believe we are a mixture of both fixed and growth, but mindset, but writing it down shows us where we are in the fixed mindset and how we can change that fixed mindset over into a growth mindset. Like, for instance, I'm here learning with you lovely ladies today. And it's the same question. But when you think about it, we're all coming from different perspectives, different experiences in life. So when we answer this question, we're all going to answer it a little bit differently. And so I don't know if Violet knows, whenever she asks for anyone on panel or teach, my hand always goes up because I am here to learn. So I try to promote my growth mindset. Now, if I was in a fixed mindset, I would, see my hand not going up. I would probably take the attitude, oh, I know it. I don't have to be on. I could be doing something else, right? But fixed mindset, that's where you're stuck because you think you know it. You're not giving yourself that opportunity to learn something a little bit differently. So journaling gives you that awareness that you need to, like, if you have a fixed mindset, how to reframe it to get over to a growth mindset.
I love that. Yeah. And that reminds me so much of my own evolution. I know that journaling was huge for me. I would get to these moments where I would start calling myself a loser, or I can't believe that you think that, you deserve this. Like, I was having all sorts of these conversations that I think are normal and typical of humans. And it wasn't until I started writing down and thinking, like, why am I having that thought? What triggered that thought? Why am I not believing in myself when I was fine an hour ago, but something happened where I'm not? And then kind of writing that process and realizing, oh, it's because this person said something, or I came across that. And then it triggered this memory from when I was like 8 and I fell on my face on stage or whatever it is, and how I might do that again. So kind of thinking about that process helped me definitely to believe in myself. And then that voice got little more like quiet. And then eventually, like now when I get into that, I'm like, why did I just say that to myself? Oh, it's because of this. Oh, that's silly. That doesn't make sense. But that process really helped me during my own journey as well. Same question to you, Janet. What was your journey when it came to believing more in yourself?
My journey, is ongoing, and it always will be. But about the last 10 years, so I was in an emotionally abusive marriage for a long time. And so just received the message every day that I am not good enough. So near the end of the marriage, I started doing a lot of personal development work to try to just feel better in general. And then when the marriage ended, of course, just dived headfirst into it. And just taking those baby steps every day, doing things that showed that I was making progress, that I accomplished something, anything. It didn't matter what it was. Just like, look, I did something. And that built my confidence then slowly over time. And it's just an ongoing process of constantly sort of pushing myself to do more and accomplish things in all areas of my life, personal, business, whatever, just to constantly affirm to myself that I can do things, I can accomplish things, and that, that confidence then just grows little by little. It is not an overnight process. It's long, slow, trudgingly hard work sometimes with some back steps, like you said, Violet. But yeah, that's been me.
Yeah, Janet, thank you so much for sharing so authentically. And I feel like you shared that because there's so many women that I know that have been in that situation, whether it's a marriage or a partner or a parent. And I'm just so grateful that you shared that, because I think that's going to connect with so many women. And I also love that you shared that it doesn't happen overnight. I think that's the other misconception, that a lot of women feel like, well, I took that course, or I took that session, or I read that book, and I'm feeling great. That's it. I believe in myself 100%. And then like 2 days later, something will happen. It'll trigger all these things that other people said to you, or somehow along the way it became your narrative. And so it is an evolution. It is not overnight, that it gets better and better as we go through that process. But I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I think that's a lot of times women feel like, I'm never going to get better because I read that book that promised me everything, or that coach, or that course, or that whatever, and not realizing that it's just, you just need to get started. You just need to get started and keep on working at it. So thank you so much for sharing. We have some love that came through from Marsha Terry, one of our femmes from Rio Grande Valley. Most definitely, it's a gradual process. And I think that the more we can share that with our friends and our other femmes, the more that we share that becomes the norm. And then we remove that anxiety, or we remove that stigma that we cannot move forward. I think as we share that, because so many times we just share the perfect pictures, of ourselves, like in a perfect way. And people think that we were always perfect, when that's not really the case. Janet T, your thoughts, or your evolution?
My journey, boy, I could take up an hour with my journey. I'm older than a lot of you, so I've been at this a long time, when there maybe wasn't as much available back in my 20s. But I always have been a junkie of self-help, personal development, learning about myself. And then, and then I started to realize problems in my relationships because of all the books I read and tapes I'd listened to, and then wanting to learn more, and wanting to grow, and wanting to be better. And I can remember saying to myself, I don't care what I have to do, I just don't want to feel like this anymore. So then that went into several years of therapy, trying couples counseling that didn't work, that ended up in a divorce. And then there was a whole new opportunity for growth, right? So then moving through that, which has really served me with my clients, of what it was like to be single again, empty nest again, starting a new business, a whole new level of learning to believe in yourself. But as you said, it is levels. It's like a spiral that goes up, that you keep getting higher and higher and higher, and you have more and more and more tools and experience to go from, right? The other thing for me in my journey is I've literally messed up every area of my life, every area, and had to fix it. So, you learn to believe in yourself, in that, this tool worked over here, I can do that here. I've been working on this for 40 years, and, staying open is a big thing, and always learning, and always recognizing when something comes up as an opportunity also, and an opportunity for growth.
Love that. And you all touched upon that, is that growth and that mindset to say, you know what, I can do better, or, with my own kind of belief in myself, and what can I do to get better, so I can move forward. So I love that. And again, we're pressed for time, so we're going to kind of start wrapping up. But if the femmes that are watching, if you guys want us to do a part 2, we're happy to do that. Carol, what is your number one tip? And then how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
Great, thank you. So my number one tip is, the first one I give was awareness, becoming aware of your self-talk, because your self-talk can really derail you. It can really put you down. It could beat you up, slap you up, push you to the ground. So become aware of your self-talk and be nice to yourself. You're nice to everyone else. Be nice to yourself. Instead of saying, I fail in doing this thing, say, I haven't become an expert yet in that field. So you're setting yourself up for the expectation that you will become an expert. And I'm on a journey now of learning how to do it and what not to do. So use failure as a feedback to get to the next level. And one tip I will give, another tip, a quick tip, is forgiveness. Because I found within myself, when I forgive someone, it's a gift to myself. It puts the other person at ease because now we have a better relationship, but it's a gift to myself because I release all that toxic feelings. And now I have open space to receive more opportunities. So.
Love that.
Yes. And how you can reach me, you can reach me on Instagram under Carol Ward, CPA.
Awesome. Thank you. And Carol, CPA, she also does a lot of our money coach and money series as well. So thank you so much. And I was thinking when you said failure, and I think Janet T had also mentioned that, is that I think back at every single time I have ever failed, it was the biggest blessing because I ended up doing better after that. So even in that moment, it was horrible, but whether it's because I learned something better or it pivoted me in another direction or I grew, tremendously from that. So I love that we're using that word failure, but it's not, it's always a point of growth and of mindset as well. Janet Sandberg, what is your number one tip? And then how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
My number one tip is to celebrate everything. We are so programmed to just do a thing and just be like, okay, next, and constantly moving on to the next thing. And it doesn't matter how small it is. If the dishes have been sitting in the sink for 3 days and then you wash them, celebrate that. Be kind to yourself. Every little step is a step forward, and that deserves to be celebrated. And it helps you feel better about yourself. It helps you believe in yourself to just be good to yourself. And it doesn't have to be a big celebration. You don't have to go out or buy yourself something, but just acknowledging that step forward and being like, yes, I did it. That's my biggest tip. It's hard to do at the beginning, but it's really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And probably the best way to find me is over on Instagram also. I'm janetsandberg.soulpreneur, SOULpreneur.
Love it. You remind me. So yesterday I had a one-on-one with one of our global members who had an amazing week last week. Amazing. Like she threw out like 5, I didn't even know, like I knew some of it, but there were like 5 or 6 like groundbreaking, tremendous success. And then she went right into, and then now I have to do, and I was like, whoa, wait a moment. Like just stop and pause and just give yourself some, like, just sit that in, but I don't know why, Janet, like what you said, like, I don't know why women do that. Like, why do we do that? Which is a whole other conversation, but why do we have all that, but don't, we're like, oh yeah, that was good. Okay, next, you know what I mean? Like we don't take that time to be like, oh my gosh, I did it. Let me honor myself. And it's not about buying yourself things. It's just like just sitting there and like just loving on yourself. So I love that you mentioned that. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Janet T. Janet T, your number one tip and how people can find you to learn more about the work you're doing.
I'm going to do one really quick one and then another more practical one. The first one would be, if you're really struggling, is hire somebody, a therapist, a coach, somebody to help you. Because sometimes we need that outside perspective. The second one, more practical thing, is I have my clients do what I call an evidence journal. So what is it that that you think that you're lacking, that you would like to build confidence in, that you would like to find evidence of? And so and then every day you every night write down 5 things that showed that you were moving towards that. And they might be little things at first, but quantum shifts are tiny. And then they add up to big things. So building that journal over time, it rewires your brain. It gives you confidence. You've got all of this evidence. And in 30 to 60 days, it shifts. And I can remember doing it myself and thinking, oh my gosh, that's no longer true. This is. Yeah. Build evidence.
I just want to add, Janet, studies have shown that over 30 days, if you do that gratitude journal, it really elevates your mind, your body, and your soul.
Yeah, love that. And rewriting your narrative. I mean, that's like the most powerful. Rewriting it as if you loved yourself unconditionally, which is like, that we have to say that is just a whole other, like we have to pretend like you're your best friend. What? Just so you can rewrite that story from that perspective.
Yeah. And sometimes from real evidence, like this really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janet, how can femmes find you, learn more about the work you're doing?
Thank you. Facebook group, private Facebook group, Relate, Date, and Mate, where we talk about all things men in relationships and feminine energy.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much, ladies, for this amazing conversation. I really feel like we've shared great wisdom here today. And I'm just, thank you so much for being a part of FemCity and for taking the time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can stay put for, we're going to end it. And I wanted to see a quick picture of us before we go on with our day. For those that haven't been a part of FemCity yet, we invite you to try out FemCity for 30 days for free. Head over to FemCity.com. And for those that are already part of FemCity, if you need any more of this in this topic, feel free to reach out to any of us. We're happy to serve and be there and hope that you guys move forward. We can't wait to cheer you on. Let us know how it goes. And we'll be back next week. Love you, ladies. Bye.